All right, we have some trade news. Malik Willis has been traded from the Tennessee Titans to the Green Bay Packers. It's a 7th round pick. Pretty inconsequential, but it does matter. I mean, backup quarterbacks, as we saw last year, 30 backup quarterbacks saw action in the league. Pretty much all but, I think, 3 teams had to use their backup quarterback, and all but 6 of them started their backup for at least one game. So backup quarterbacks are important. Funnily enough, Green Bay was one of those few teams that never had to start their backup. Jordan Love started all of their games, and I believe played pretty much all their games. So Green Bay has had pretty lucky success with not having to go to their backup, but it is always good to have somebody that you want. Green Bay was going into the season with Sean Clifford as their backup. If you've never heard of him, you're in the vast majority. Sean Clifford, not very well known. Meanwhile, the Titans, they already had Mason Rudolph, former Steeler. Mason Rudolph, who, could he compete with Will Levis for a starting job? I don't know. I don't know how committed they are to Will Levis at this point, but I think Mason Rudolph is about as talented of a player as Will Levis. Just, I mean, obviously, Levis is much younger and probably has more potential, we think. We don't know that, but Levis is their starter, Rudolph their backup. So Malik Willis, the guy who they took in the 2nd round. Remember, he was a 2nd round pick. No, a 3rd round pick. He was a 3rd round pick. Malik Willis was just sitting as the 3rd stringer. So they got the 7th round pick, and he is now a member of the Packers. In 2022, he started 3 games for Tennessee, went 1-2 with a 50.8% completion percentage. Threw for 276 yards in 3 games. That is not that much. No touchdowns, 3 picks. Needless to say, he was not all that good. A QB rating of 42.8, QBR 13.3. He took 10 sacks. Last year, played in 3 games, didn't start. He was 4 for 5, 80% completion, but granted only 5 pass attempts, 74 yards, no touchdowns, but no picks, for a QBR of 118.7. As far as his rushing stats go, in his rookie season, 27 attempts, 123 yards, and 1 touchdown. Last year, 5 attempts for 21 yards. In college, he was fairly mobile. And that could be an aspect of his game. The Titans just never trusted him. I mean, even when he did start, they didn't even really let him throw the football. He was one of the worst quarterbacks that saw action in 2022. And he is, I mean, yeah, he's still, it's funny because Sean Clifford might have been the worst backup quarterback in the league, and Malik Willis maybe is like the 3rd worst. So it's not really a huge jump for them. It's not a huge upgrade. I do think it is a slight upgrade, and I think it's an upgrade at least in potential, because Willis hasn't proven himself to be any good in the NFL, but he does, I think, have more potential. He was a 3rd round pick. So maybe there's something there.